God had made promises to him. He'd said, "You're going to be king." God had given him clear instructions, stay in Judah. And yet, David thought in his heart, "I will one day perish by the hand of Saul." In other words, God's word isn't going to happen. There's nothing better for me than to go to God's enemies, which is sad. But that's the battle of faith. God is calling us to believe that God's word is true and faith, and that he's faithful even when it doesn't look like it. And obviously David's life had been very difficult for many years at this time. So one can feel the discouragement he was in, but he should have made that choice to trust in God instead of giving up. So he went to the enemies, but of course that was a very foolish thing to do, because last time he went to Gath, they nearly killed him, and yet he went there. Who knows why? And it got him into all sorts of trouble. He had to lie about where he was going out to on excursions to. He ended up nearly fighting with the enemy armies against the armies of God, the armies of Israel. And then he lost all his possessions and his family, because this band had come and ransacked Ziklag and took everything away. And his men were planning to stone him. And all that trouble he got himself into because he decided at that point not to trust God, but to go over to the enemy's camp. But did God give up on him? No, not at all. God was still faithful to his word, and actually only 8 months later God's promise came true and he became king of Judah. So if only David had stood firm on God's word and got through that difficult time, he would have saved himself all that trouble. And referring to Proverbs 23:7, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." And God is saying to us, the real battle is the battle to think in your heart the right thing, to make the decision to think God is faithful. And that ties into Mark 11:23, where Jesus said, if you say to this situation and not doubt in his heart. I've always wondered about that, but I think it's linked into this. It's the battle for faith. And 1 John 5:4, this is the victory that overcomes the world, even our faith. So let us ask the Lord to give us the faith to stand. The enemy said to Eve, has God said? And the answer is, God has said.